Hi, this is Miriam from Keto My Way. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I belong to a Facebook group called Completely Keto, and there's a woman, her name is Wendy, and she posted something the other day, and I was so moved by it. I asked her if I could read her post, and she said, yes, I could. So I'm hoping that by the time she sees this, that her husband is better. I know that he has come out of his, I don't think it was a coma, but he didn't realize what had happened to him. And so he has since come out of it, but I hope that he has a full recovery. So I'm just going to read this straight and then I'm going to talk about it for a couple of minutes. So she wrote, she said, my husband has been in the ICU for 11 days now on life support after a massive heart attack. Likely he will need a heart pump and then transplant if he survives. Only awake for maybe 30 minutes the whole 11 days, and then he had another heart event. Long enough for him to say, I love you, and ask, how are you? Then out again. Nurse told me yesterday they didn't expect him to make it this far. At the same time, a messy and expensive real estate issue due to someone else's negligence is requiring me to make huge decisions and hire attorneys. I feel pretty hysterical at times, just trying to get through each day one step at a time. Plus, I have to work, have used up all of my time off. I have not strayed from keto even one bite. I will not go back. Stress is no excuse. I keep reading people posting about how they gave in. It is just as easy to not give in if you decide to put your mind to it. Think about how awful sugar and carbs are. Gross sugar and carbs is part of the reason why my husband's heart exploded. Sugar and carbs gave me prediabetes, obese weight, and liver problems that are now all gone. Sugar plus carbs equals sickness and fat. Don't let yourself make excuses. Look at sugar and think of sickness, cancer, fat. Create a negative association in your mind so it becomes automatic. Instead of letting yourself long for sugar and carbs all the time and let yourself make excuses, busy your mind with finding and trying yummy new keto recipes. I made a lasagna fail last night, and she did post a picture. Haha, looked great in the pan. It was tasty, but it was lasagna soup dished up. We'll have to keep searching for the perfect keto lasagna. Anyway, I wanted to thank Wendy for that post and for allowing me to share it with you. It really sort of puts things in perspective. She posted that the day after Halloween, and what she was talking about is people were saying, oh, I gave in. I had just one little mini bar and whatever they were saying. And it really shows that if you have a commitment, make it. Just do it. And I think, I have some stress in my life, and I'm sure you do too. Nothing in my life, maybe your life, but nothing in my life compares to this. And for her to just say, no, I'm not going to use the stress as an excuse to eat and have the candy and have the cookies and eat whatever else. She just decided that she was going to decide, and she did. And it's very funny because I'm working with Ketovangelist clients, which I've talked about before. Ketovangelist Coaching, I'm a client. And their November challenge is on commitment this month. And I've talked a lot with my coach about it. We had a nice meeting yesterday to the tune of about an hour and a half or 2 hours. And we were talking about commitment. And part of it for me is I have to identify what my commitment is. And I know I've talked about this before, that saying that in the past, having done Weight Watchers and calorie counting and all of this, I had the mindset, if I don't track, I'm not going to lose weight. And so how I translated that is that if this is a month of commitment and I am committed to following keto and losing weight and doing what I have to do and staying in my macros, then that means I have to track. No way that's going to happen. I think November 1st, because I wasn't tracking all month. I think November 1st, I may have tracked all my meals. Maybe the second I put in my coffee and I said, no way, I am not going to do this. And it's very funny because Lisa and I talked and she says, well, maybe your commitment can be, I am committed to not tracking. And it's just so funny because after all of these years of writing down everything, every food I ate, but look where it got me nowhere. So obviously, tracking is not the magic bullet. I think that if you enjoy it and you don't know yet too much about keto, that it is a good tool, but it's only a tool. And I found that part of my issues with Weight Watchers is I treated Weight Watchers as the master of me, not a tool to use. And so with tracking with keto, I have to remember it's just a tool. It doesn't hurt every once in a while. Put a day in, see where my day is. Or if it's a new recipe, I put it in. Or if it's a new food, I can put it in and see where it falls in the day. But the other night when I didn't track, I think it was like November 3rd, by breakfast on the 2nd, I said, I'm not doing this. And I measured my ketones on the 3rd, and they were like 2.0, which is fabulous for ketones. And then the next morning, which was yesterday morning, my fasting blood sugar was 98. And it's I think one time it was 99, but mostly my fasting blood sugars fall between maybe 110 and 125. And even if it goes up to 129, that's not unusual. So the thing is my ketones are good. Fasting blood sugar, which was not so good this morning, but that's a whole other video. I watched the 2 kids overnight and I had them and I was up early. I didn't stray from keto. That's not the issue. But I had a lot of just anxiety and stuff. I mean, I know how to watch my grandkids, but my husband was working and I was up all night with the baby, and it was just, it was not a good night. So that's probably why the number was high. So I digress. But the point is that obviously I'm doing everything right. So my mantra has to be, yes, I'm making a commitment. I'm making a commitment to me. I'm making a commitment. I can do this. I can be successful by going with the flow. Meaning I just can do it. There's a lot of issues involved with why I hate tracking so much. Maybe over the next 40 videos, I'll tell you all of my issues. But the point is it's not for me. It's not that I'm not committed to keto. I should only be half as committed as Wendy is, and I hope I am. But she just put it so eloquently. The thing is I am committed. I know I can do it. I know what to eat. The night before that night that I had those good keto numbers, we had surf and turf and salad. And I just looked and I knew 2 or 3 shrimps. I knew, this much protein, this much salad with a couple of spoons of dressing. And I just knew. I didn't have to jump up from dinner, put my meat on the scale, weigh and measure it, put it into my Fitness Pal, obviously, if my ketones were that high and my blood sugar was that good in the morning, obviously, I know what I have to do. My commitment needs to be to trust myself. I already have the commitment, to ketogenic eating. I don't think that this is an issue. I mean, Halloween came and went, just looked and, but if you've been following me, there's been chocolate bunnies and things like that in my day. It's happened. But I think that for the most part, I don't want to say forever and ever. I hope it's forever and ever. But for the most part, I'm over that and I am committed to keto. But I have to be committed to doing it in a way that's comfortable for me. So that once you make the commitment to keto, you have to be honest with yourself. And if tracking is something you even need to do or you like to do, I mean, some people they love that. Do it. Do it. I'm not saying live your life without tracking, but I know I'm not a tracker. So my commitment this month to November is no tracking. Oh, I took the batteries out of my scale. I weighed myself November 1st. That's it. I'm not getting on again until either November 30th or December 1st, I don't know. But I'm not getting on the scale. So those were the two things I'm doing this month. I already didn't track that last month and I did well. And so I'm continuing that commitment this month. But I'm also committing not to get on the scale. I have no choice. I don't have any batteries in my scale. And I'm going to try to commit to live this kind of life that no matter what the stress is, realize that it's not an excuse to go back to the garbage. Anyway, listen, have a great day, everybody, and Keto My Way. Come to my Facebook page. I'd love to have you. Keto My Way. Bye-bye.